Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. We're continuing to focus on the build-up to 2019 elections. We do know that so much going on, particularly from INEC. We also do have that of security. But now we're joined by Dr. Obadiah Lafia, who is the presidential candidate of ADC. He's also former deputy governor of the CBN. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on the program today. Are you impressed so far?
Thank you so very much.
Yeah, with the preparations for the election. Let's start off with that of INEC. They've come up with the new guidelines of which they by now says, look, this is what we will abide by. Are you satisfied with that?
Well, more or less, it's okay. I mean, there had been a lot of discussions at the National Assembly. It didn't reach what was agreed, but I think we can live with this. At the technical level, the INEC is better prepared than before. And I know Professor Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, and I know that he's a very competent person and a thorough administrator. So at the technical level, I'm sure that they're up to the task.
Would you say the same thing of the new IGP?
Sorry, I mean Yakubu Mahmoud of the INEC. And
I know. I'm asking, would you say the same thing of the new IGP?
Oh, well, I don't know him very well, but I know he's from Nasarawa State, and I'm very pleased with that because this is where I grew up, and we are from the same, locality. So I'm very pleased with that, and I congratulate him. I use this opportunity to congratulate him. He said something very interesting, very brief and concise. He said, we are professionals, and we shall do our work professionally. So that is quite reassuring. I'm not sure I could say the same thing for the former person.
But speaking about which, I mean, individuals on the one hand, institutions on the other. So is this just about those individuals, or is it about the institutions now?
You know, I've been much in leadership and management, and I know that it's more about institutions than about individuals. But I also am aware that, an institution does often take on the coloration, ambience, and even the aura of the leaders that govern those institutions. So we're not naive. Who they are as individuals and their character and their quality of integrity is likely to impact on the institution itself.
For instance,
it's a two-way traffic.
Okay, yesterday there was supposed to be a handover in Lagos with the police structure. There was supposed to be a new commissioner of police, and then still the current CP now says, look, there was at the moment they've been instructed to stay action. So in that context, much as yes, you have fine individuals who are heading those positions, can we rule out the element of order from above? And what do they do when those orders from above negate the principles of their professionalism?
Well, it is presumed that the orders from above must be obeyed because they may be privy to superior information. I don't know. But we are in Nigeria, and lots of things do happen. I don't know the details of that story. I heard a snippet of news about it, but I didn't know what to make of it. It's neither here nor there, to be very honest. Maybe there was a decision to rethink that process. We would get to know, I'm sure.
The point I'm trying to make is that, look, the new IGP, much as he said something brief, good soundbite, that he'll ensure that the elections are free and fair, but there are several people who will tell you, come on, we know that it's not just about him here. There are several other factors that will determine whether or not there will be a free and fair election. So to what extent can we rely on what he has said as the new IGP?
Well, Chamberlain, if I must be very honest with you, if you look at somebody like Goodluck, he wouldn't have picked someone like that for the simple reason that you needed to balance the equation geopolitically. and the president is from one side, and then he's picking somebody that is a mirror image of himself. This is what has been done throughout all the security apparatus. And it is leaving a very bad and sour taste for most Nigerians. If I were president, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't pick somebody from my catchment area at all. It would have to be somebody different so that to reflect some balancing. Right now, all the key institutions of the state, the most sensitive ones, are in the hands of people from a particular area. And that is immature, to be very honest with you.
If those are your submissions, what guarantee do we have that the security architecture leading to the elections, which we already know that for us to record credible, free and fair elections, and peaceful ones for that matter, will involve INEC's readiness and, of course, the kind of police deployment that we have? What guarantees are there now that you've made those submissions, that it seems to have tilted already from inception to the president's side?
Well, after this interview, I want to be able to get back to my office peacefully. Right now, because I've spoken a lot on security in the past, and I have reason to feel that I am being threatened officially. I'm having that feeling. And so that is the reality of what our country, there's an atmosphere of fear and intimidation taking place that is extremely unhealthy for our democracy. Look, those in power need to understand that those who speak the truth are not necessarily their enemies. We are friends of God, first and foremost, when we speak the truth, because God is truth. And they should be prepared as Democrats to respect people who speak the truth. We are not their enemies. In an Olympic marathon, the first runner requires even the second runner to prove that, yes, he won the gold. Not to intimidate people and to send an atmosphere of fear throughout this country. Look at what is happening to the Chief Justice of the country and the rest of it. There's an atmosphere of fear. We are receding into the level of Mobutu's Zaire or something like that, or Idi Amin's Uganda. This is what our country is becoming, and it is very regrettable. They need to understand that those who speak the truth are not necessarily their enemies. It's just that we love our country more. That is the reality of it, and they need to get that straight into their brains if they don't understand it.
Oh, what about when you said that the IGP makes a statement saying, we're professionals? So doesn't your subsequent comment about you saying, well, you don't have to pick somebody from that side, negate what you said initially about him being professionals and going to do his job?
No, it doesn't at all. I mean, I spoke in terms of principle. For example, to be very honest with you, it shouldn't have been him if there was a sensitivity to balancing the equation in the country. You'd pick somebody who is slightly, not exactly from your own coloration, that sort of thing, so that you leave no one in any doubt that there's going to be impartiality and objectivity in the whole thing. Having said that, it does not negate the fact that he looks like a nice guy, and he's spoken nicely. So why don't we give him the benefit of the doubt?